10 out. Stand by default sound. Let's go on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll D and fade up sound.
This is Oklahoma's
Stand by
own
A.
News on 6 in high
Roll A.
definition.
Dissolve Q.
And we begin here at 6 o'clock
Stand
with
by
a serial
2 with.
rape suspect behind bars. Tulsa police say the man created an elaborate scheme
dissolve,
involving a phony Facebook account to lure women to his
Enemy
apartment.
out. Ready J. Ready C.
Once the women were there, he drugged
Roll
and
C.
assaulted
And such a
them.
move. Take.
News on 6 crime
Stand by
reporter
4
Lori
with at the B
Fulbright has
plus.
the new details at 6.
And dissolve Q.
Well, Scott and Terry,
Thanks for the
sex crimes
hold.
detectives
Enemy.
say this is the man at least 11
Enemy
women
out.
thought they were going to meet. The
A
Facebook
full
page
sound is next.
says his name is Corey
Ready,
Davis
A.
and that he's a model. Police say the suspect's real name is Ashley Pullen and he's unemployed. We tracked down this picture and learned this man really is a model, but he lives in L.A.
Roll A. Takes on.
Police say at least 11 women thought they were communicating with a
Sergeant
man who
Mark
looks like this,
Mears,
whose name was
107.
supposed to be Corey Davis. The women eventually decided to go to Corey's apartment on 36th Street North in Tulsa, but when they arrived, they told police they were greeted by a man who was not Corey, but was saying he was Corey's roommate, who is actually the suspect in this case, Ashley Pullen. This is Pullen's real Facebook page. Police say while the women were in the apartment, they were receiving
Did you
text
get his
messages
mic
and
okay,
Facebook
John?
messages from who they thought was Corey.
Yeah.
They say he claimed he had to go run an errand and would be right back. Police say Pullen was the one secretly sending those messages.
How
The
long is it?
messages encouraged the women to drink vodka with the so-called roommate. The messages even offered them money if they would
Trying to
drink
cheat it a
more
little bit.
shots. One woman says,
Yeah.
after drinking, her vision became blurry and she became very tired. Another
It's
said
a
almost
two-box,
immediately
so
she began to
if-
feel strange. A third
may have to
said
hold on that
she was
two-box for a
unable
second
to
or two.
move or resist. All three, though, were lucid enough to describe the sexual assaults. One woman says the so-called Corey even
Ready
texted
key
her
for
later
Sergeant Mark.
asking her not to press charges.
I believe
enemy.
that those type of predators
Enemy down.
have gone to using
Ty Lewis, photojournalist, 124,
drug-facilitated
runs a minute
sexual
57.
assaults because it's much harder to get caught.
Police say the drugs are often out of the victim's system quickly, and sometimes the victim doesn't even remember exactly what happened because she's unconscious.
A little over 30
We
left in
tracked
this
down
pack.
the picture used on the Corey Davis Tulsa Facebook page. His real name is Richard Rocco. He's a former Marine who's now a model living in L.A. Someone even told Rocco last
blow
month
ties
that
key
someone
off. I
was
missed
using
the
his
key time.
picture to lure women here
We'll be
in
out
Tulsa.
for.
Rocco was not very happy about it and issued a warning on his Facebook page saying it wasn't the first time someone had stolen his picture. Police say before you
10
meet
seconds
someone in
out.
person
Ready
who
for.
you've met online, Google them, do a court record
Public and
search,
crowded's the out.
and even then, be careful.
Here we are.
Meet in a public place, someplace where not just public, but public and crowded.
Take you.
Police say if you
See,
do
Terry's
meet
mic
them,
at 3
don't
o'clock.
accept a drink from them. It's too easy for them to slip something in your drink that you can't see or smell. Police say Pullen was convicted
Ready,
back
C.
in 2002 and 2003 for assaulting 2 women while he was in the Army in Fort Carson, Colorado. Lori
Roll C.
Fulbright, News on 6.
Take you. Stand by 3.
Happening now, jurors are deciding if a Tulsa
Dissolve.
man is guilty
2
of
and 41 for
opening
you, double.
fire in a
Ready,
Best
double.
Buy parking lot, killing 2 people in July of 2012.
Turn take enemy.
News on
Ready.
6
Rem
reporter
41
Ashley
with.
King was in court today for the closing
Hold here.
arguments. Ashley.
And take enemy. Darn it.
Yeah, Terry, we are about
So,
an hour and a
read
half
it.
into jury deliberations right
And
now.
read
It has
A
been a
clean video
very
next.
long day of testimony, followed by closing arguments. Now,
And take.
investigators believe
BVO claim
Willie
next.
Wise is the person who shot and killed
Stand by B.
Scott Norman and Wesley Brown at a Best Buy in July
Roll
of
B.
2012.
And white.
The prosecution says this
AVO
shooting was
clean
sparked
next.
by gang retaliation. Tulsa police officers with the
Roll this
gangs
for a little
unit
bit.
testified about the gang culture and how members commit crimes to earn stripes. Now, during the closing arguments, the state showed surveillance video of the suspected
Stand by
shooter
A.
following his intended target inside Promenade Mall and later outside Best Buy. Then the defense argued the state has not proven Wise was the one who actually is
Roll
in
A.
that
And
surveillance
white.
video. The defense believes
41
the
with.
actual shooter is Jeremy Foster, who is also charged in this case.
Ready, 41
Wise's
with.
attorney reminded the jury that the alleged getaway
I
car
will.
didn't have
Hold here
Wise's
just a second.
fingerprints on it, but it did have Foster's prints on it.
And take.
Now, if
Very
Wise
nice.
is
Two in
found
effects
guilty,
next,
he
page
could
4.
face life in prison with
Match
parole
watching
or
on
life
2.
in prison without parole. Now, there's been no indication of how long the jury will deliberate or how
Ready,
long
two
it
in
will take or
effects.
how close they are to coming up with a verdict. But of course, we will stay here and bring you the very latest as it becomes available on newson6.com. Reporting live, Ashley King, News on 6.
Enemy take you. Ready.
A man
A
and a woman were
for
seriously
jib map.
burned in an explosion and fire
Roll
that
A,
destroyed a
and take.
triplex overnight over
Stand
in Drumright.
by
News on
32 with.
6 reporter Tony Russell is in Drumright tonight with the update.
And dissolve
Tony?
Q and enemy.
Yeah, Scott, firefighters
Enemy.
say one victim is in critical condition
Enemy.
this evening. They say
Ready,
the
clean.
explosion
Relay,
came
and
from
take.
the closet where the water heater is located.
Rollins,
The assistant fire
Be
chief
simple
says
with us next.
that's the unit where the 2 burn victims lived. When the crews arrived around 2 this morning, the entire triplex was on fire. 3 families live here. One neighbor we spoke with
Ready,
says
B.
it sounded like a bomb went off.
Robbie, sound take, enemy.
When you got outside, what'd you see?
Flames.
Enemy down.
Spreading through
Trench
the attic,
15, out to
My
32
neighbors
with.
was out here on the sidewalk burnt when the girl come and knocked on our door,
Ready, 32 with.
and it's flames everywhere.
And take you.
And you can see some
C,
people
full
are
sound and
digging
one
through the
weather.
rubble of that burned down unit. Again, the investigation
easy,
is still
easy,
being
full
determined
dog.
by the
Ready,
State
C.
Fire Marshal's office. Tony Russell,
Roll
News
C.
on 6.
And sound take. Stand by 1 with. Soft Q, can enemy.
The work week has ended with some
And put weather
great spring
6 in the
weather after
plasma.
quite a
Enemy
winter-like
out. Start
start.
weather 6
Even some
full.
rain in the
And
forecast, though,
dissolve.
but it will be a cold rain
All
tomorrow.
right,
But
out
a
to
few
the
showers
jibs and the 3,
showing up
big
on
6.
Warren Live radar. Much of this not reaching the ground because of how dry it is at the surface. But we do have a few sprinkles possible around Bartlesville into southeastern Kansas.
Bump
This
the
is
iris
calm
down a
before the
touch on
storm,
the
though, that
jib.
arrives tomorrow. And that will
Terry's
be a cold rain. Speaking of which, out
outfit's
to the
making a little-
northwest, you can see that system spinning through Colorado. Let's take you back to Oklahoma. Temperatures were very mild, especially in southwestern Oklahoma, over 80 in Eric, but Tulsa's high was 60, 64 in McAllister. Those temperatures
have
now
to do.
range anywhere from the mid-50s to the lower 60s. Jinx at 60, 58 downtown. As we take a look ahead, we're talking
Stand by,
a
Jib.
cold and raw Saturday on our hands, but temperatures are springing back up, and it's
And
going to be very
start
nice
your move.
early next week,
Dissolve.
followed by maybe yet another cool
Ready,
down.
3?
We'll look ahead also to spring break time.
Oh, okay. It's
Yep.
getting to be here, huh?
Yeah,
All
it
right,
sure
thank
is.
you, Mike.
Turn take.
Tulsa
3
Public
and 22
Schools
for your
broke
double.
ground today on a new school library
double.
with a groundbreaking construction technique, tornado-proof glass for the windows.
Take
News
enemy.
on 6
Ready, run
reporter Emery
22 with.
Grimes over at Mitchell Elementary with the story at 6. Emery?
And take you, enemy.
Well, Scott, the work is underway on an expansion here. The district needed a little more room at this
Enemy.
school, and
Ready,
they
ace on
wanted a
full clean.
safe room built in. So they came up with a plan for a library with windows that can stand up to a tornado.
Roll A. Take some.
Here we go.
Tim Mayer.
Tulsa Public Schools broke ground
And
on a
34.
$2.9 million expansion for Mitchell that will create 8 new classrooms and a 2,600 square foot library that doubles as a tornado shelter. Like most old school buildings at Mitchell, the hallway is about as safe as anywhere else, but it has lots of doors and windows that cannot take high wind. The plans for the new library addition look conventional, but they're anything but. Here's the library. You can see on the inside,
Ready,
there's
keep it,
lots
Tim.
of glass, and it's bullet and blast proof, designed to withstand tornadic winds up to 250 miles an hour.
They're
Can't
very
enemy.
expensive, but they will withstand anything
Enemy
that's
out.
thrown at
Bob
as
at
far as
58.
tornadoes and what have you. So,
And you can see through them?
yes, just like a regular window.
The reinforcement added about
Friends of
$300,000
man.
to the
32.
overall
Out Q's
cost.
anxiety.
The more tornado has put a new emphasis on shelters for schools.
Ready, keep for
For
Bob.
Tulsa, every major new project will include a shelter for as many students as possible.
A library is a
Can't animate these roll off by
size
about a second.
to hold the
Animate off.
entire population of an elementary.
Katie
So whenever we
Blair
put new
at
libraries on
124.
especially,
The problem is size at high schools where there's so many students that making new buildings
20 away.
tornado-proof would add millions of dollars
Ready,
to
key.
the cost.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. A little
Instead,
early.
schools like Memorial will have safe places for smaller groups. At Mitchell, the new library
Alright, here
will
comes
be the
Katie. Ready,
ultimate
key.
safe place for children, and their
10 seconds
librarian
out.
thinks that's a big step.
Not all
Can't
of our
enemy.
kids are the best readers, and so that can be very
Enemy down.
challenging for them.
Ready, rep
and so if we
22
make
with.
this place a very safe and welcoming environment, it removes some of that anxiety.
Take you. 2 and a quad next. Page
Another
7.
tornado shelter library is going in over at Lindbergh Elementary. These
Ready,
two
two and a
will
quad.
be the first above-ground true safe rooms with windows built in the Tulsa district. Emery Bryan, News on 6.
Take you. Ready,
How
Vis
about
3
an
for a
orange
map.
barrel alert if you drive on the Turner Turnpike in just about an hour?
Take enemy.
Crews will close lanes on
All right,
westbound I-44
Viz
as well
2
as
and
east
music for the
westbound Highway
T's.
66
Then out to
near
3.
the Turner Turnpike entrance.
Stand by for music,
They'll
stand
be
by Viz
working on a
2.
bridge maintenance project through next Friday, a week from now. Various lanes will be closed over the next week, but only from 7 in the evening until 6 o'clock in the
And
morning.
wipe anime
The state
music.
medical examiner
Semi 3.
releases autopsy reports in a decades-old
And
triple
dissolve.
murder
Start your
investigation.
move. Start your
Now
pole.
at
Stand by Viz 3.
newscast.com, exclusive comments from one of the victim's
And
sisters
dissolve
about
anime.
new information.
Click on for
Stand
more
by your
about
next
the latest
bullet.
efforts to solve the 1977 Girl Scout murders in
Read
Locust
it.
Grove.
Stand
Also
by.
online, investigators determine a house fire in LaFleur County was actually a double
Read it.
murder-suicide.
Stand by A
Plus,
clean.
the Tulsa man's indicted for pointing a laser at the city's police
Roll A
helicopter.
wipe.
And Governor Fallon's daughter defends
Stand by
a
B with.
photo showing her wearing a Native American
Roll B,
headdress.
key wide.
Next here at 6 o'clock,
Anime,
something
yeah.
Oklahoma offers veterans
Stand by
as
your
a
break.
perk for their service. How this special driver's license can pay off for our military men and women.
And fade us down. Ready, break.
Nice job, guys. Thank
nice
you.
job, everyone, except for me. I let the bug in over the T's.
Sean, I feel like we're shooting this newscast from a drone. There's so many chip shots.
I know.
4, 3, 2, 1, and fade up cue.
If you're one of our nation's veterans,
Stand by 3
there's a
whip.
special Oklahoma driver's license
And
just
dissolve
for
and
you.
animate.
It recognizes
Ready,
your
C.
service.
Leave the
And
key
as
in.
our veteran, Rick
Roll
Wells
C.
shows us, it's also an easy
Take,
way to
stand
make
by
sure
full
you
sound.
qualify for some really cool discounts.
Roll A, white sound.
Well,
Whoops.
look at that. A regular
You got it,
license
John, you got
and a
it.
special
First key
veteran
at 9.
logoed one.
Ready,
Why
key?
didn't somebody tell me?
So how long
Cammon.
have you been doing this?
Since
Animate out.
I
Okay.
think it was August.
Colleen at
The Oklahoma
103.
legislature authorized it 2 years ago, but only
Todd.
a couple of tag agencies could print the licenses.
TRT.
Now they all can.
Okay.
You just have to come in with proof you're a veteran.
Yeah, exactly. Prove it. And I can't at the moment.
I need a copy of my
Do you put Weather
discharge.
6 back
So I
in the weather
Googled that,
plasma?
and I found
Michelle.
freebd214.com. They referred me to this Touchstone
Oh,
research
are you
group.
gonna
Well,
be
I
our-
contacted them, and
Oh,
they
why
sent
not? I
me
think
back
that'd
an
be cool.
email that said, depending on how fast I want my
Go back,
DD214, they
Michelle.
could get it to me
I think it'd be kind
for
never
a
mind.
fee.
Well, is
All right,
this
Colleen at
worth it, I
103.
wonder?
Straight ahead at the camera.
Back at the tag agency, Colleen Payne said, yep,
There are enormous benefits to that.
She
Some
must come
people
back.
just
Ready,
come in
key.
for the logo.
it gets you discounts.
Office
Can't
Depot,
animate.
Lowe's,
Animate
Home
out.
Depot,
Minute 17 for
Staples,
Todd Ruffin.
Walgreens,
Which runs a minute 39
Ross.
standard.
So there
About
are
30
a
out.
number of organizations
Ready,
and
key.
shops and stores
And you
that give
just step
veterans.
up and say, you know,
I'm a veteran.
Key animate.
So it's a pretty simple process.
Animate out.
Go to
That
any
is your
tag
last
agency
key.
in the state, show your proof of service,
Okay, T3 looks
pay the
good.
fee,
Sweet.
have your picture taken,
10
and in a
seconds,
few
stand by
minutes,
3 for the
computer
Ts.
spits out a new card. How come
They
I
might
didn't know
chit-chat
about
here.
all this? I need to start paying attention. Rick Wells, News on 6.
Dissolve Q. Stand by
It's a
for music. Stand
darn
by
good
T3.
It is. Good for them. Enjoy the discounts.
And
Well,
music
after a
start a little
miserable Monday, we
pull.
deserve
Dissolve
the
and
beautiful
animate.
end of the work week
Stand
we're
by the
seeing on
jib.
Osage Casino Skycam Network.
But the bottom
Start
drops
your
out
move.
again tomorrow.
And white.
Mike has details of a
Stand by
cold
your
and
break.
soggy Saturday in the Future View forecast next.
And fade us down. Roy break. Smooth. Yeah, smooth jazz music. So that's what you call it, John? All right, set up for weather. There he is. Stand by C. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll C. And fade up sound. Stand by 1. We'll go with soft cue. Get me.
Well, we're starting to feel like spring
Excuse
yet
me.
again, but we're going to see
Animate out.
that taken away from us for
All
our
right, I'll
Saturday.
have from here.
There's a system across the
Up
Rockies,
to 4 and
and
3.
that is going to make a beeline to Oklahoma with rain and even some snow showers for portions of our state. It will be tracking through during the day tomorrow, starting in the early morning hours. We may see some showers breaking out, and then that should taper off with time tomorrow night. Let's take a look at
Oh, it
what's
was in
going on
build
a
mode,
little
wasn't it?
closer in. We've had a lot of high clouds rolling
Oops.
through the state today. A few very light sprinkles beneath this area of clouds across Osage, Washington County.
I can't
into
see 'em from
portions
back
of
here.
southeastern Kansas, but that won't amount to anything, and only about
Yeah, I mean, you're
about
closer to
100
'em.
minutes of
Well,
rain
I guess I
reported
have
in
this
any
one I can look at.
location.
I
So the
should.
clouds are starting to clear the Tulsa area, an area of clearing skies.
Show 'em 3
for,
minutes, please.
probably
3
the next 2
minutes.
hours moving in, and then with denser clouds moving in after that, and that is when we're going to be locked into some greater moisture and the chance of rain rolling in shortly thereafter. Of course, with enough cold air, there is that chance of snow in northwestern Oklahoma mixing with sleet. This does not include any of our eastern Oklahoma counties, but wanted you to be aware in case you travel this way, anywhere from north of Enid all the way back into northwestern Oklahoma included in this winter weather or travel advisory. This is where difficult travel may occur. We'll kind of break down this threat just a bit for our Saturday, but for most of eastern Oklahoma, count on a cold rain. We're taking a look at Grove first. The Patricia Island Golf
Has he
Course,
shown
a
the baseball
beautiful
field
sunset
yet?
underway with those high-level clouds rolling on by. So if you want to jump outside, you can catch a great sunset as we speak. Also taking you out to One Oak Field in
There
downtown
you go.
Tulsa. This is the Tulsa Tech High School Showcase for baseball. We just had a couple teams on the field, which were Broken Arrow and Bixby, and Muskogee is about to take on my alma mater, Union High School, here shortly. So a fine evening for baseball. Hard to believe it's back. but
Shout
it's
out to
starting feel
Union.
like
2
it, at
minutes,
least
2.
out there, and they are enjoying temperatures in the upper 50s.
Oh, Scott
at
does
the
it too
moment
for
with a
Sand
light
Springs.
to moderate southeast wind. That one's going to be up there this evening, so will be a brisk evening, even as temperatures remain a bit more mild than we've been previous nights. Bartlesville is down to 57, and Veneta we're down to 54. If you live in Okmulgee, it's 59 degrees on your thermometer. 62 in McAllister and 59 over to Eufaula. Tonight, here comes the cold front. It will be racing in the early morning hours with gusty north winds slowly moving in behind it. Showers breaking out on the back side of this front, some of which may be rather heavy at a few moments in time, down to 41 in the morning hours in Tulsa. By morning, most of us are pretty much dealing with just rain, but tomorrow afternoon, we're going to watch for areas of mixed precipitation across maybe Osage County back to Ponca City, probably above freezing, so we don't anticipate much accumulation. If there is, it would probably be confined to areas just northwest of our viewing area. Tulsa, we're at 37, though, by afternoon, so you may have noticed temperatures are falling by the afternoon hours. It will be a cold, raw day, maybe a good one to be indoors.
1 minute to him, please. 1 minute.
Show, for example. All right, to break down our threat, we're thinking a cold rain from Tulsa, basically I-44 to the southeast. Don't have to worry about really any snowflakes there. But if you live in the northwestern sections of the viewing area, say if you live in Pawnee, up towards Pawhuska, Scheidler, up into southeastern Kansas, you may see a little sleet or snow mixing in. Accumulations, though, probably confined to the areas in blue. That is the area where the coldest air may linger, and maybe some 1 to 2 inch amounts in those areas. But for most of us, just going to be a kind of a cold, nasty day. Let's jump forward. We're jumping forward to spring break. This is from that Saturday through that following Friday. We're looking at fairly normal temperatures here in Oklahoma, maybe warmer than normal if your plans take you to the western portion of the United States, and below normal for the east. And maybe some good news.
Hold on, don't clear me.
For our drought situation, we are going to be dealing with likely below normal precipitation during this time.
15.
Maybe some rainfall across Texas, but it does look like it should be a pretty nice time frame for us weather-wise. Okay, our forecast looks like this. 9 o'clock.
Wrap him along,
Mostly
please.
cloudy, mild and breezy, dropping off to 41. At 7 in the morning, some scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Can't rule that out with a brisk wind. And by the afternoon, that temperature tumble continues down to 37 degrees. Can't get much more nasty than that, in my opinion, but I do think it will be ending very quickly.
All right, 1, you're clear. Out the 4.
Daylight saving time.
What's up, Charlie?
Early next week, absolutely gorgeous. Temperatures in the 70s.
Stand by 4.
Wednesday,
and quickly 4. And dissolve.
Sorts of
Ready to.
We're on the right track here.
We are, sure.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Turn taking a little music.
And sport is trying to break
Relay,
into the
keys
green
up.
country sports scene.
And TU
Stand by your
is
break.
celebrating a conference championship next in sports.
And fade us down, Ray break.
Seriously, though, folks, the jib shots have looked really, really nice today. Well done.
Cool.
Thank you.
I most definitely agree.
Thank you.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll D. And fade up sound. Stand by 3 in effects.
This is News on 6 Sports with Charlie.
Soft cue. Ready for with.
A golden celebration tops the Hard Rock Hotel.
Turn deck
Sports
and can
Desk.
animate.
For the first time in 12 years, the Tulsa basketball team will get to hang a
Animate out.
conference
A with
championship
VO.
banner. The Hurricanes
Ready,
placed
A.
to share the Conference USA crown last night in North
Relay.
Texas.
And take.
This
And key
afternoon,
animate.
the team cut down the nets to celebrate with the fans
Animate
at the
out. Be
Reynolds
simple
Center.
with.
TU still needs to win next
Stand by
week's
B.
conference tournament to have a shot at the NCAA field, but for one day, they're going to enjoy the
Roll
moment.
B. Wipe sound. And key animate.
Celebrate a very nice accomplishment. One of
Animate
our
out.
goals that we set
James
forth
at
this
15
year.
runs 21.
And,
Up the C next.
It's just a good day for us.
Ready,
we have
key.
To enjoy it today, because when today's over, we got to get ready to go to El Paso. When I got up there, I think it's because I'm
Can
left-handed,
animate.
it was a little weak.
Animate out. Stand by C.
I don't know. It took me a minute though, but I was.
Roll C. And wipe Q. Stand by A with.
Thunder blew a 16-point lead
Roll A.
last night
And
out
wipe.
in Phoenix.
And key
Gerald
animate.
Green scored a career-high 41 points
Animate
to
out.
lead the
B
Suns
sample
to a
with.
128-122 win.
Stand by
The
B.
Thunder has now lost 4 of its last 7, but Scott Brooks isn't panicking and says he'll refocus the team before playing the Lakers.
Roll
on
B.
Sunday.
Wipe sound.
We're going to
And
have
key
to
animate.
regroup and come back.
Animate out. Run 17.
Saturday
Out
and
the
have
4.
A quick practice. We know what we have to do. We just have to do better. You know, we have to do a better job.
Yeah, we are going to be
I
pretty
have
tight
all the
here. Ready
confidence
for.
in the world with our group, and we're gonna continue to work on things that we feel that are important.
Thank you.
When the calendar
A
turns
sound
to
full
March,
clean.
most people think college basketball or maybe spring training baseball, but
Ready, A.
Bill Kuntz has the story of a new sport trying to break into the spring schedule.
Roll A. Take sound.
When starting
First
a team,
key
the beginning
is
may
at,
not be the smoothest.
actually
When
blow
you're starting a team
Matt
with a
Dent
sport
off.
most of your players
It's
haven't
only
heard
3
of,
seconds. Give me
get
Scott
vets.
Love at 31.
Stuff that, you know, like on the East Coast that they're doing with elementary kids, we're having to do at the high school level.
That East Coast sport that's spread across the country and
This
now
runs a
green
minute 20.
country is lacrosse.
About a minute
a
left
sport
in this
that shares
package.
Similar characteristics to hockey, football, soccer, and basketball.
Osiris on the jib.
I appreciate you when you get a
Just with
chance,
step.
John.
For Bishop Kelly, it's their third
Bump it
game
up a touch. Ready,
ever,
key.
And at the start,
Pretty
Can I make-
clueless. We first started in the courtyard.
Animate out. A little
and,
more if
man,
you haven't,
I
if you
had
have
no
already.
idea what I was doing.
for Coach
Colin
Matt
Sharp
Dent,
at
seeing
57.
playoff
Da-
football, watching someone
back
that
off a
exposition
touch.
work the offense
It's
and avoid
Terry.
cross checks
I know.
All right.
is frustrating.
Is that all right?
Call it good there.
Skills are garbage today.
But it can only get better for the Comets and for high school lacrosse in Tulsa.
1 minute
Kelly is
show,
now
1
one of
minute.
3 teams in the area, along with
Ready
one
key
club
for
team.
Mr. Sharp.
And the hope is more schools will start teams.
There's a lot of
Can't I,
coaches and a lot of other people around that we've been
And let me
working
know.
for years.
That's
and
your last
it's,
key. 20
it's
seconds
great to
out.
see the kids.
Be out to
kids
2.
love it.
Eventually, the schools like Bixby, Broken Arrow, Union, Owasso, Skiata, schools like that are going to start picking up high school programs.
The Comets are playing
All right,
experienced
5
schools
out.
this year.
Stand by
so
2.
they'll face a learning curve, but hopefully the future's bright. Harold Kuntz, News on 6 Sports.
Soft cue. Ready 1.
Looks fun to
Cool
me.
uniforms
I
are
know.
good.
It looks like you'd get hit with those sticks a lot, though, right?
Well, you know,
Take.
if you're slow.
Take 2.
And I am.
20 show. Stand by 3 to 1.
All right, quick look at the weather.
And
yeah,
it's off.
we're looking a lot
All
colder
right,
tomorrow.
about
Lots of
15
rain,
out,
maybe
out
some
to
snowflakes
3 to
in
the
the
jib.
northwest of Tulsa. It ends tomorrow night, but we
Stand
set
by
up
3,
clocks for
or 2
now,
rather.
very spring-like
And
weather Sunday
dissolve.
through Tuesday.
And music. Start your move, jib. Dissolve. Can't
Good to
animate.
have you here at 6.
We'll see you
Stand
back
by your
at
break.
10.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And fade us down. Ready break.
You're good people. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Nice job, folks.